Okay, that's good. That's good. You ready, buddy? Let's go. Well, hey there, everyone. It's Anthony, back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. Hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. Today we're here at Eagle Trail at the Boulder Reservoir in Boulder, Colorado. And we're just out here to put some miles in. Today is Monday, March 31st, and I have the day off. It's a national holiday, Cesar Chavez Day, and we have that day off of work. So I was like, let's get out here because I think it's gonna be pretty quiet on a Monday, late morning. It's right around like 11. Let's get out there, let's get some miles in. I actually have the drone with me today to potentially do some drone shots and maybe do an updated flyover for spring for the intros and outros, but it still doesn't feel very springy. My plan was to change those seasonally, so I didn't even do a winter one, like with the snow and stuff. I just did a fall one last year, and that's just the one I've been using. So I'll need to be better about keeping up on that. But yeah, so I was like, well, let me do a spring one. But I'm like, honestly, our springs, unless there's like, you know, flowers and stuff coming up, it looks a lot similar to fall. So I'm like, I don't even know how different it would look compared to the one that's currently on the channel. But we'll see. I'm at least going to do some flyover shots and stuff. And if I end up, I'll put some stuff in this vlog. And then if I end up not using any of it, then so be it. So yeah, we shall see. Come on, buddy. Let's keep moving. But yeah, so this area, or this trail does have an off-leash area. As a matter of fact, this whole thing is technically off-leash, but there's one part of the trail where mountain bikers and horses and all that stuff are not allowed on the trail. So I usually wait until we get to that point, which is quite a ways in. Honestly, there's another parking lot that you can park at that I probably should start parking at because it's right in front of that area. So we don't have to go through all this. It's maybe not a couple miles, maybe it's like a mile and a half, but it would allow us to completely avoid the cyclists and stuff and just get right on the part where I can let Apollo off leash. But for whatever reason, my habit is to park back over here and just walk to it. But yeah, oh geez, part of me is thinking, oh, should I turn and go find that? It's okay, it's okay. It's not that far of a walk. We'll get there. But anyway, over here, Appo. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Make sure to leave in the comments how things are going for you. I just wanted to get Apollo some off-leash time. I figured since I have the day off and it's a weekday that it would be quieter, and it seems pretty quiet. There's a few cars in the parking lot. This is a very busy area. Boulder Reservoir is just a super popular recreation spot, so I don't think it's ever going to be dead, but I'm hoping it's not too, it doesn't seem to be too crazy. So yeah, that's what we've got going on. Trying to think of anything else. Maybe I'll have to check to see what my service looks like, but I might be able to get some comments responded to. But let's Let's figure that out. As soon as we got out of the car, I usually clip Apollo to the little like door latch so he can't wander away, but then I have my hands free so I can get my backpack on and get the camera set up and get all that going. So I was doing that, and he hasn't had a bath in a minute, but he's stayed pretty clean recently, even when we go to off leash and stuff. And I turn around and immediately, like clockwork, he has already like gotten his head under the door frame to like sniff, in his whole, because we drove through a dirt road to get over here, and his whole top of his ear and top of his head had mud all over it from him like sniffing underneath the car. And I'm like, we haven't even started walking yet, and you've already gotten dirty. So, and there's lots of, I'm hoping that once we get to where there's no horses, I'm just checking to see what kind of service I have. I think we're okay. Come on, baby. I'm hoping to where we get to the point where there's no horses, there won't be as much horse manure and stuff all over the trail, is my hope. But I don't know. You never know. But I'm already mentally preparing myself for the fact that he's going to come out of this either covered in mud or covered in poop or covered in something. So I've already just resigned myself to, we may need to go take him for a dog bath today after this is done. But we'll see. But yeah, this is like a horse riding trail, and then I think they do let cows graze over here, so I think there's like a lot of cow patties. I see some cows off in the distance. I just don't know if they let them all the way up here. So yeah, we'll see. Hi. Come on. Let's go. So yeah, we're gonna end up going all the way down straight ahead where that farm little area is, that building off in the distance. Then we wind our way around this plateau, and then we kind of climb our way up to the top. So we'll end up there, and that's kind of where I think I want to film with the drone, is on that ridge. Then we come down around back to here. So we'll end up here. Part of me wonders if we should go the opposite way we normally do, but the uphill is a lot more intense going that way. It's a much more gradual climb up the cliffside, or the little plateau, going counterclockwise than it is clockwise. I don't know. What do you think, Appo? Should we try going the opposite way we normally do? Might be kind of fun. Should we do it? No, let's do what we know. Your dad doesn't like change. So we'll end up right here, coming up this path. And we're gonna go all the way around. It's, I wanna say 5 miles, 6 miles, I think. But yeah, it does look like I have some service, so as long as I have battery. I didn't fully charge my battery today. We're at 72%. So anyway, as far as life stuff goes, things are going good. Well, all things considered. Went over here.
Thanks.
Went and got a haircut on Friday. Because I had Friday off. I had Thursday off too. Because I went and got the rental car. I think we've already discussed this. I have one vlog that I need to post. I don't remember when it was. Oh, it must have been Wednesday, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I'll quickly recap just in case I've already talked about this. But for those of you that are not aware, I was in a car accident 8 days ago at the time of filming this. I'm fine. There was one day where my neck was feeling really tight. It was really weird because it didn't start feeling too tight until I sat in the car to go up to see Matt on Friday. Friday night, when I was sitting in the car as I was driving, started to feel sore, and by the time I got over to his place to pick him up, it was really hurting, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I don't know if I just slept on it wrong or I tweaked it at some point during Friday, because it came on really fast, stayed with me throughout the evening, got back home, and went to bed, woke up, still felt a little icky, still felt a little sore, and then by Saturday, late morning, afternoon, it was pretty much gone. So I don't feel it anymore, but it almost hurt to kind of swallow. There was some tension there, some pain there. So I might I might just chalk it up to stress. The stress of the week, and just dealing with all the car stuff was very stressful. But anyway, so this past Thursday, I took the day off because I had to go get my car taken to the shop and dropped off. And then I didn't know how long they were going to have me there, if it was like a whole situation where I had to explain what happened again and like sit with them while they calculate everything. I've never done this before, so I didn't know. So I took it there. They did make me do kind of a walk around, and they walked through and like notated all of the damage to put the estimate together, which I had already done once via photos with my insurance, but now I'm going through the other driver's insurance. They're taking care of everything, so had to do it again. But this was much nicer because it's the shop that's going to be working on it and not just me sending photos. So they took way more detailed notes, and they're like, oh, it looks like there's some damage to your rear rim here. I was like, yeah, I think she kind of scuffed up against that too. And he's like, okay, well, let's get that remachined or replaced. Looks like we've got some damage here and here and here, some little damage on the bumper. So they were way more thorough than me just snapping photos. And so there was a lot more that needed to be fixed than what my insurance estimated. So that was nice that they were extra thorough. And then, so I was there for probably about an hour, and then I had to get a Lyft, Uber, whatever you want to call it, back to my house because I had to leave my car there. So that took a little bit of time to get there, but the shop is only about 10 minutes away from the house, so it wasn't too bad. So went and did that, and then that night, I actually had a date night with my friend Laura and Jeff, who are coming with me to Hershey Park next month, probably at the time you're watching this in May. So we went to go see a live podcast taping of How Did This Get Made. I'm sure I've mentioned this before. Either mentioned that I went No, I don't think I mentioned that I went. I think I mentioned that I was going. Anyway, so I went. And it was so much fun. Me and Laura met up at the Yard House, this little restaurant that's just around the corner from the theater. Went and hung out, had an appetizer, then went to the show itself. And it was so much fun. We were like crying, laughing the entire time. It was so much fun. I wonder if that's where my neck got tense, is just from cackling for like 2 hours. It was so much fun. They did a review of a movie called Double Trouble, which was like from the early 90s. And it was like a cop and bad guy movie, but the actors were twins, and they're like these giant bodybuilders. I've never seen the movie. In fact, I didn't even know what movie they were going to be reviewing. I wanted to surprise myself, and it was a lot of fun. So went and did that, and then came home, and that was it for Thursday. And then Friday, I went to just did errands around the house, did a little bit of diamond painting. I did have to work, even though it was technically my day off, but we also had today, Monday, off. And so I didn't want to be too far behind. I just wanted to like put bows on everything that I was working on. So I ended up working, I'd say 7:38 to about noon. So essentially like a half day. And then once I logged off, I went and got my hair cut, did some tidying, errands, diamond painted for a minute, and then went over to Matt's. And the rental car that they've given me is this like tiny, I've already mentioned it. I know I've mentioned it in the last vlog, but it's this little shoebox. And it's fine, but oh my gosh, that was my first time getting on the major interstate where the speed limit is 75. Trying to get that thing up to the speed limit is no easy task. It sounds like it's like screaming to get up to 75 and stay there. And the guy, when I picked it up, he's like, oh, it gets good gas mileage. I'm like, I'm sure it does at the time. And I'm like, yeah, if you're just going around surface streets going, 30, 40, 50 all day just around town. But once you get on the highway, that thing is just like struggling. It's like whee the whole time. And of course your gas mileage just tanks because it's going as hard as it can to stay at highway speeds. I just don't even understand how that thing is safe necessarily. Just seems like it's not like highway worthy. And it just is so tiny, and every little bump, the wheels are like the size of dinner plates. Every little bump feels like it's gonna suck the entire car in. It's like boom, boom. I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyway, whatever. So we get, I get to, and also the battery is at 8% right now. So just keep that in mind, that it is gonna die and I'll have to switch it out. So I get there, pick up Matt. We go to Daiso because there's a Daiso in Fort Collins. So I'm like, well, at least I'll get to go to the store that I wanted to go to the day that I got in that accident. So at least I'll be able to fulfill that. We get to Daiso and it's cute and they have a lot of fun stuff. Essentially, it's like a dollar store, but all Japanese stuff. And even like the prices and everything, you have to convert. They have little signs everywhere that convert from Japanese currency into US. So you kind of know how much you'll be spending. Some other things did have just, this is $2 US, this is $3 US, but everything else, a lot of stuff that was packaged, the price was on it and you had to do the conversion. So I grabbed like a couple cutesy keychains to put on my work bag, and some little snacks, like little chips and stuff, like shrimp chips and things. Nothing that I couldn't just find at H Mart. So there wasn't anything that exciting. Nothing that I couldn't find at stores that are already here in Colorado. But what really bummed me out is their skincare selection was pretty much non-existent. Like, no sunscreens, no sheet masks, no cleansers, nothing like that. It was, their beauty section was like makeup. So they had like foundation and brushes and like false eyelashes and those types of things. Like makeup, but no real skincare to speak of. And so I was kind of bummed about that. And in fact, the store that I had gone to last week, Ebisu, that I had mentioned in the last vlog, or two vlogs ago, where I was in the car in front of the store showing you guys what I got. That store had more in terms of like Japanese like skincare products, way more than Daiso, which is like an international brand. So that kind of bummed me out. I was thinking if anyone's gonna have a bigger selection, it's gonna be that store, and they had zero items. And so it was more about like stationery and pens and like squishy, like stuffed animals and toys and like snacks and candy. Even that was a little lacking, the snacks and candy aisle corner was kind of sparse, but like a lot of like plates and cups and dishes and gift bags and gift wraps. It was more like stationary home goods, like little gadgets and stuff and in cute decor than it was like food and personal care items. So I was just kind of bummed. We left there and he's like, I'm so sorry you went all the way over to that Daiso, got in a car accident, didn't even get to go, and then now you finally do, and it wouldn't even have been something you were that fond of. And I was like, yeah, it sucks, but it's fine. So we left there, and there's a Japanese restaurant in the next shopping area called Mount Fuji that I love, so we were gonna go do that. And then I was like, I want some comfort food. He's like, what? I was like, I mean, sushi, I guess, is a comfort food for me. But I was like, there's an Olive Garden right here. And he's like, you like Olive Garden? I was like, yes, I do. Like on occasion. He's like, let's go. So we went there and did soup, salad, and breadsticks, and then got like a little appetizer to share, and just hung out and chit-chatted, and then went back to his place and watched some game show that I wanted to hate, but it was fun to like make commentary on it, so I liked it for that reason. I think it was called The Floor, and it's got Rob Lowe as the host. It's fine. It's nothing that great, but it was fine. So did that. And then by the time I left, it was, hold on, 3%. Let me switch the battery. Hold on. Okie dokie. So yeah, by the time I went to go leave Matt's, it was pouring rain. I was like, oh my gosh, like driving in the rain does not bother me normally. I was just like, oh geez. So get in my little tin can and get back on the road. As soon as I get on the highway, I'm like freaked out because this thing's tires are so itty bitty and thin, and the car weighs like nothing. And I'm going through these like sheets of water, and I'm like, this is hydroplane city. Like I felt like, was that a cow? Yeah, it was. There's a bunch of cows right here and right here. They're cute, huh? They're just messy. So as soon as, once again, speed limit 75, the car can barely go that fast anyway. But as soon as I'd get to like 55, 60, I felt like I was just gonna start hydroplaning off the highway. Like this thing felt so unstable in the rain at that speed. And maybe it's fine, but it doesn't feel fine because everything's so paper thin and just rickety feeling that it just doesn't feel safe. Like you're just being like as you're driving, the whole steering wheel's like, just like, oh my gosh. So I pulled off the highway because other cars are getting pissed because I'm going like 15, 20 under the speed limit at night in inclement weather. So some people don't even realize I'm going that slow till they get right up on me. They're like, oh my gosh, he's going like 20 under. So I got off the highway and took one of the back, what is also a highway technically, but it's not like the interstate. Speed limit's like 55. Took a little side highway, which is a pretty significant detour, but it does connect pretty much Fort Collins all the way south to Denver Metro on the west side. It just is a pretty massive detour. So the drive that would normally take me an hour and 10, hour and 15 took closer to 2, taking that side road all the way back, because it goes through all the towns on the way. So it goes from being like 55 down to like 20 going through town and all the stoplights, and you have to go through Fort Collins, Loveland, Longmont, and then Superior, and then you get into Broomfield, and then you're starting to get close. So it took forever, but it was much less scary. And by this time it's already 12:30 in the morning. So I didn't get back until like 1:15, 2 o'clock, or 1:15, 1:45-ish. So it took me like way longer than I wanted to get home. Apollo was sleeping luckily, but I let him out right away, and then we just went immediately to bed, washed my face, and then just went to sleep. So yeah, I was not happy. This car is just not conducive to highway driving at all. So yeah, that was my fun adventure on Friday. And then Saturday, what did I do? Oh, nothing really. We did a long walk, and we went up South Table Mountain. It was pretty muddy, but wasn't like awful. Stay here. Hi. Here you go. It was pretty muddy, but it wasn't terrible. We survived. Did that, then ended up doing a secondary walk around town. I met up with Dom. We went and got just a coffee together, and I had this big old bag of skincare that that was either stuff that I just don't think I would use anytime soon, and it had already been in my stash for a while. So I'm like, either I stop what I'm using now and just use this stuff, or give it away or throw it away. But I could see myself going another year without touching these products. I'm trying to be better about that and have stuff in my stash that is stuff that I want to use immediately, and I am getting way better. But there certainly was maybe like 7 or 8 products in my stash that I was just like, at this point, I'm just not really feeling this brand anymore. I'm just not that hyped about it. So let's get it in somebody else's hands. So I put this bag together that had a whole mess of stuff. So I brought it over to Dom, let her rifle through it. And then I was like, then I'll have MJ go through it and see what she wants. Cause those are kind of my 2 skincare nerds that I have in my life. So I was like, let's see what she wants too. So she went through it. We hung out. It was a good chat. It was good to catch up with her. So did that, came home, and just diamond painted and hung out, like starting in the afternoon. And then Alex and MJ and some of their friends came over because MJ knew somebody that was playing at Red Rocks as an opener. So they came over just to hang out and say hi, and then they left to the show. And I just went back to my room and diamond painted pretty much all night. I actually went to bed fairly early because I started diamond painting so early. But yeah, that was my Saturday. Look at that little nugget. Look at that little fluff bun. He's a real husky. Yeah, he's a real husky. And then Sunday, yesterday, I took Apollo for another walk. Where did we go? Oh, we went up to Green Mountain, which we've been to before, but when I was looking at the map to the auto body place, I realized that Green Mountain has a bunch of different entrances to their trail, and there's one on the opposite side closer to me, on my side of town. I was like, oh. So we got up pretty early, and I put Apollo in the car. I was like, let's go exploring, see if we can find this entrance. So we went over there and found it, and you park next to these horse stables, and you kind of sneak around them, and you find this little trail. So we went and did that, and we didn't do the full trail because it's miles and miles and miles, but we did probably about 3-4 miles of it, and then came back, and I did laundry. Oh no. Temporary trail closure. So this is the trail we normally go on. Oh, I can see it's all blocked off. Oh no. Apple, I don't know if we're gonna be able to make it up the hill. I guess we'll see. Let's see. Oh, and it says no drones too, so I'm not even, wow, I really should have parked over here so I could see this right away. Let's see. We want to look for leash, voice, and sight control. Okay. Basically, they're saying it's all leash. Okay. That kind of sucks, Appo. That kind of sucks. I'm sorry. So I kind of want to figure out where we are. Hold on, everyone. That really sucks. That really sucks. I'm sorry, buddy. I mean, the dogs are allowed off leash on this part too, but so are cyclists, and that's what I was trying to avoid. And horses. Man, it does look like they're putting some new, they've definitely graded that and put some new gravel and stuff down, because usually you just had to bushwhack through the brush, so they are fixing it, but dang it. What does this say? This looks like something. What does this say? You are leaving designated trail. You are responsible for following regulations. Okay, City of Boulder. I I guess we'll play it safe. It says, "You are leaving designated trail. Please follow the rules." And it's a sign next to like a little, I guess cyclists would come down that. But then it says stay on designated trails. So it's like, you're about to leave designated trails. Here are the rules. Stay on designated. It's like, well, then what is it? Is it I can go on this or I can't go on this? So let's see. I'm a little bummed. Maybe this is definitely going to be a shorter trip because this is just a loop right back around to where we came. But usually you go up along this ridge here, behind this, up behind it, and then you're playing around up here on the top, and then you come down eventually. I see some construction equipment over there off in the distance. They must be like really revamping this area, but dang it. Appo, I'm sorry. The other thing that kind of sucks is they do have actual like barbed wire fence over here, not just like the stuff that they have at the dog park. And so that always creeps me out, letting Apollo near that, because we've already had an accident with him in barbed wire once in his life. So I guess we'll keep going, see if there's any other opportunities to sneak up there, and we will. But so yeah, Sunday we went to Green Mountain, did some exploring. When I have more time or more desire, I will try to do that entire Green Mountain loop, because it goes from pretty much our side of town all the way around to a dog park that we go to and back around. I mean, it's huge. It's got to be 15 plus miles of a loop. It's huge. So maybe not that big, but not that far off. So we would have to devote like an entire, start early and make an entire long day out of it. But yeah, so did that, came home, hung out, did some chores, kind of just goofed. And then there was a movie that I've been interested in seeing called Ash. That's like a sci-fi horror film that came out recently. And so I was looking forward to seeing that at some point. And so I had asked Alex if he wanted to go, because he's also into sci-fi. He's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, do you want to go? This was on Saturday. I was like, do you want to go tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, let's do a matinee. So I was like, okay. So we ended up going, me, him, and MJ went to go see it yesterday afternoon in downtown Denver, because that was the only theater that had like a matinee showing. So we went and did that. And it was really good. It's certainly weird if you're into sci-fi, but you're not into horror and like monsters and stuff, that you're probably not going to be into it. Think of it more like the Alien franchise, but maybe even a little bit more intense in certain sections. So it's definitely more horror oriented, but the setting is, outer space sci-fi. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I would definitely see it again streaming. I don't know if I'd go to the theaters again for it, but it was cool. So yeah, did that. And then we walked around. So the theater's at the 16th Street Mall in Denver. So walked around the mall a little bit. It's pretty much completely dead, like abandoned. There's like the movie theater, the bowling alley, a Coyote Ugly randomly. I mean, it's been there for a long time, since I was in college. But it's like everything else in the mall is like closed down. There used to be like, it was a mall. So like the Gap, Banana Republic, Express, Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret, like a full mall. And I'd say 90% of the stores are shut down. So it's kind of weird, and it's multi-level and it's outdoor. So it's like floors 1 and 2 are completely dead, and then you go all the way up to the top, and that's where you have like the movie theater, the bowling alley, Coyote Ugly. But you have to take these escalators through essentially a dead mall to get up there. It's very odd, and they're doing a lot of construction there. So it's just like the foot traffic is also really low. So it just felt kind of creepy. Felt kind of creepy. So yeah, got home after that and took Apollo for yet another walk. We went on a second walk. We went down into town, let him splash around in the water a little bit and play and get wet. Came back home and made some food and started watching a lot of, us catching up on more coaster vlogs or theme park stuff. But I didn't diamond paint. I wasn't in the mood to get my diamond painting out. I just kind of sat on the couch with Theo and Apollo and watched videos and stuff, and then went to bed. That was about it. It was a very uneventful evening. And now here we are. So I'd like to do this, get this out of the way, and then I haven't eaten anything yet today. I probably should do that. Go get some lunch or make some lunch. And then edit my last vlog and this one. And maybe some more tidying up of the house, and then just hang out and diamond paint today. I don't really feel like going anywhere, so, or anywhere else, I should say. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. As far as diamond paintings go, or diamond painting goes, and purchases, what was I gonna say? There's something else. Oh, yes. A couple of things. Okay, so I ended up not posting this vlog, a vlog that I filmed in the past couple of weeks, because I ended it just being in kind of a sour mood in terms of I was just hangry, I was fussy. I think it was even before my accident. I was just hangry and fussy and just, I didn't want to, oh, this trail's closed too. Hold on, let's see. Apo, all these trails are closed. It looks like they're completely this is like this whole grading for mountain bikes so they can go up on the sides is all new to me. Yeah, so this was another way you could get up to the top. Temporary trail closure due to muddy conditions and vegetation from damage. Violators will result in a summons. So yeah, they just flip this out when things are closed. Interesting. Well, all we're doing is just going up and then right back down to where we were. Well, I'm sorry, Apo. That sucks. It must be pretty gross up there. So yeah, I didn't post it. That was one vlog I didn't post. And then I filmed another one, I think 2 days after my accident, where I was just really such a Debbie Downer. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that one either. But the first one that I decided not to post, I was talking, and I had responded to some comments in that one. So I'm sorry if your comment got a like and a heart, but no response. It happens from time to time. I try not to do that very often, but it was like, I don't know. I felt like I was complaining way too much in that vlog, even though I complain a lot in my vlogs. But I feel like that one was like extra complainy. And I was talking about what my thoughts are on TikTok, and it just went, I don't know, just not going to share it. So anyway, but part of that, I had mentioned that I went and met up with a subscriber. I met up with Chocolate Diamonds. They were in town visiting family, and so I went out to meet her, and it was really cool. We just got to chit chat about diamond painting and life stuff, and just all sorts of things. So that was a lot of fun, and I had a great time spending some time with them, but I was on my lunch break from work, was the only time I could make it work. So we didn't get to spend a ton of time together, but it was really cool. So I got to do that. And I think that's only the third time I've met with a subscriber in person. So that was cool. And really only the second time that I actually like chatted with them for any length of time. The first time was just to give somebody a kit that they had bought off my D-stash. I literally just handed it and was like, here you go, bye. So we really didn't talk. But there have been 2 other occasions where we got to chat. This one was certainly the longest. So yeah, did that. And then what else was I gonna say? I don't remember. There was some stuff that I was like, man, there was a couple pieces of information in those vlogs, the lost vlogs that I did want to share, but if I remember them in the future, I will. And then I have a subscriber. I don't know if they've shared this on a public comment on the channel, so I'll keep their name private until I hear otherwise. If they're like, no, you can say who it was. But I had a subscriber that sent me some gifts or some goodies to use for a giveaway for the pinup event coming in September. So that was really cool. And I felt so bad because I got those and this was right in the midst of all this stuff going on with the car. So I got the box and I just set it on the dining room table and kind of forgot about it because I've been dealing with insurance and all this stuff this past week. So they messaged me on Instagram. They're like, did you get the package? I'm like, yes, I did. I'm so sorry. And even then, I think they had originally asked me because they had a few different things. And like, what out of this would you want to use for the giveaway? And I think they had asked me via email. And I don't know, and I don't think I ever responded. So I feel bad for that. And I think they just ended up sending me, they're like, well, I'm gonna send them something. So they just sent me some stuff. And then I didn't even, I should have just stopped what I was doing, took a breath and wrote them back as soon as it showed up at the house to thank them. But they messaged me like, did you get the package? And I wrote back, I'm like, yes, I did. I'm so sorry. There's just been so much going on right now that it's still sitting on the dining room counter. I haven't even opened it. I still haven't opened it. So I need to do that today and take a look. Because I honestly, I remember one of the things, but I don't remember the other thing. So I just need to take a look and thank them and see if I need to reimburse them for shipping. Because I saw how much the shipping was and I was like, oh, uh-oh. So I need to get that handled. But yeah, so that all happened. Okay, now going back to purchases. So I ended up snagging, I have my wish list, my Diamond Art Club wish list, and if something does restock from that wish list, then I give myself permission to get it, along with another kit for free shipping if I want to. Otherwise, I'll use points or something like that. So I got, I'm not even going to remember the names of them. That's how special they are to me. So yeah, so normally we'd come down this ledge all the way down and get spit out pretty much here in this area. And then this starts our loop back up to where we started, which is off in the distance there. So we kind of missed a whole huge portion of this open space, which is a bummer. And I'm not going to let Apollo off because we're still dealing with barbed wire. I'd usually let him off up at the top of the ridge there because there's nothing. There's no fencing or anything. It's just complete open wilderness fields and stuff. So this is a bummer, but this is still this is still plenty as far as a walk goes. And drones aren't allowed, so that would have canceled that plan. So we'll have to find somewhere else to film. But anyway, so let me pull it up. Da, da, da. So yeah, now my wish list is down to four kits. So that's cool. Okay. So I ended up getting, are you serious? Diamond Art Club is so, their app is sometimes really annoying. There we go. I click on my orders and it's like, log in. I'm like, no, I'm logged in. I can see my rewards and stuff. You have to like back out of it, reopen it, and then it'll work. Okay, let's see. So I ended up getting A Day's Journey by Pixie Sticks that was on my wish list. It's a 50.8 by 66 centimeters square, 44 colors, 1AB, 3 fairy dust. So I got that. So I got to mark that off my wish list, and then I was like, do I need a second kit? Do I use my points for free shipping? What do I do? I ended up using my points for a discount and getting a second kit. So I ended up getting Moonlit Temple, which was one of the recent releases from Eau Claire Studio that I also had on my list. That's 69.9 by 69.9 centimeters square, 77 colors, 2 ABs, 6 fairy dust. So I got those two. And I got those when A Day's Journey, what was it again? A Day's Journey, whatever that was, came back in stock. Then, this most recent week, My Inner Sanctuary by Yume Art, 70 by 81 centimeters square, 59 colors, 3 ABs, and 3 fairy dust, that got restocked. And that was like one of the last Yume Art instrument pieces that I had left on my wish list. I think it is the last one that I don't have, that Diamond Art Club's released at least. So I was like, gotta get that. And then again, I just used points and got a second kit. It's Pit Stop in Paradise. I forget who this is by. I'm assuming it's Peggy Collins. It's another cool kind of trippy psychedelic van image. And even if my brother doesn't want it, because I already have a different one with a van for him, but I think that one's round. I still loved the amount, like the rendering looked so cool, and it looks very, very wild. So I was like, that's cute. I mean, maybe someday I'll end up destashing it. I don't know, but I got I think $50 off that order. Yeah, because my grand total was $100. So yeah, I was like, that one's really cool, and it's big. It's a 69.9 by 105.8 centimeters square, 64 colors, 3 ABs, 3 fairy dust. So I was like, that one's really cool. I mean, if he ends up not wanting that one, or I'll let him pick. I think that one might actually be a little too big because he wants to hang it up in his van. So I think that might be too big to hang in his van. The other one's a little bit more reasonable. But either way, it's trippy, it's fun, it's cool, and so both times now that something's popped up on my wish list and I have the option to get a second kit, I've been taking that option. So now I only have 4. Actually, I'm gonna delete something off my wish list. It's called Holy Night Glow by Eau Claire Studio. Since I got the one, I'm not gonna want the other. Or I'll just tell myself I'm not allowed to have the other. So the last 3 on my wish list are Quiet Mountain Lake, Breakfast Buddies, and then one called Autumn Mushrooms, which is a maybe. So really there's 2 that I'll absolutely get. Hold on. Oh, I guess I can. Back up. I want you to go over it. Up and over. Up and over. Come. You can do it. Ready? Go, up. Follow. Go. Go. Hop up. Hop up. Okay, and other leg, go. He has no clue what to do. Okay, forward. I wanted him to jump over that chain there, and he did not understand the assignment. Okay, so this looks a little bit more attuned to me letting him off leash. I just don't know if I want to. Here we go. Okay. Let's see what happens here. So I've got those breakfast buddies, a quiet mountain, what is it called? Quiet Mountain Lake breakfast buddies, and autumn mushrooms. With autumn mushrooms being a maybe. Maybe I'll get that. So, Appo, come on. Hi, you're so sweet. So yeah, potentially down to my last 2 wish list canvases. And then I'm just sitting with anything Ivy Dollamore, anything Yume Art, and any mystery boxes that get released. And that's it. So yeah, it's been pretty slow going in terms of purchases, which is kind of exactly what I wanted. So I think, yeah, I mean, I think the chances of them restocking my last 2 wishlist canvases are pretty slim. So probably gonna see another break here. Anyway, so the one from Pixie Sticks and the Eau Claire Studio one, those came in, I think, the day after my accident or the day of my accident, I can't remember. And I was obviously in no mood to do any kind of unboxing or filming. And honestly, I was kind of in this mood of like, I don't even think I want to film them. Like, I'm not interested. So I took the plastic off and he took the Treasure Quest cards out just to see what they were. And then put the boxes in the basement. So of course I'm feeling a little bit better now that, oh my gosh, he looks so cute right now. Hold on. Try to get this picture before he moves. You good? How cute. How cute in the field. Look at that little boy. Come here. Come here. You're so picturesque and beautiful. Hi. Hi, lover. You're so beautiful. Yeah, you're very handsome. So yeah, my mood's changed. Things have calmed down. I'm not in panic mode anymore. So I think maybe that's even something I can do today as well. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I'm going to unbox them. I'll film the unboxing. I just don't know when. But you'll just have to forgive me. Apollo, come here. Come here. Good boy. Thank you for not jumping at that cyclist. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're so good. Oh my gosh, you know what you're gonna get today? You're gonna get a treat. Yes, you are. You're gonna get a big one when we get home. Oh, I love you. I did not hear that cyclist until he was cooking. So yeah, I'll film those. You'll just have to bear with me with the fact that the plastic's already off of them. And then the 2 new ones that come in, I'll do those too. So, and I might actually this time legitimately space them out and do them like once a week or something like that, just so I do have some content going up, because I feel like aside from the vlogs, I haven't been given much. Don't know when I'll get around to doing any whip-in chats or anything like that. Like I said, I've really been into theme park content consumption, and even thinking about, oh, Appo, let's go. Apollo, come here. Come here, big boy. Yes. Apollo, come over here. There's a dog coming. I gotta clip you up. Thank you. You're being very good today. I think that deserves a little special treat. And maybe there's a specialty dog store in Boulder I can take him to after this. So yeah, I don't know. Part of me wants to start a new channel. Not that this is going anywhere, but start a new channel that's focused on my theme park adventures and try to cater how I film and shoot and do that stuff more focused on that. And that's all it is. So even if it's like I put up some vlogs from some parks and then it's no content for several months, well, you know, before the next time I travel and get to do some more, just keep it solely focused on that. Because I'm starting to get a little bit more involved in the roller coaster community. I've mentioned this a few times that there's a couple that I've been watching a lot of their content. Hold on. Look at the bunny. He's so cute and fluffy. Called Coaster Studios, Taylor and Sarah. And so I've listened, I think I've mentioned this, of course, several times. I've listened to them for a while now, but I've really gotten more invested in their content because they just do it so well. They do it so well, and they seem very sweet and just provide such great info. And so I became a Patreon member on their Patreon at a certain level where I have access to, or they've granted me access to their Discord and their Instagram private messages and or Instagram kind of private page. And I have unlocked like a bunch more content from them. So I've been trying to get through all of that. And their community and the folks that they have on their Discord and on their Patreon chat and stuff, they're also nice. Like, this is exactly what I was looking for, is like, I want to be part of like the theme park coaster community, but I want it to be positive, because the ones that I've had experience on Facebook and on Reddit are always like there to complain and trash and slam everybody. So this is like much more positive and engaging with them, and like seeing the posts that they put up is always like, here's me here, what do you guys think of this? Like, it's exactly what I wanted. They've really created this like group that focuses on like the positive aspects. And of course, like, even they will talk about like, oh, this is what we didn't like, but it's usually like kind of compliment sandwich of like, here's what a theme park could improve on, or here's how it could go better next time. But it's never just one-liners, kind of like zings. We talked about it last summer, about just kind of some of the coaster enthusiasts just are like, there's a type. There's certainly a type. And I don't often jive well with that kind of like internet troll type. So anyway, I've been really getting kind of caught up on all of their content and subscribed to their Patreon. And I've been spending so much more time while I'm diamond painting just listening to their content or other theme park roller coaster content, which there's a ton of. And so I don't really see myself wanting to do many whip-in chats at all, or like that's my time now. And so, I mean, never say never, but I just don't know. Okay, in you go. Thank you. Okay, now we gotta put this back. Okay. All right, now we're good. So yeah, we're not that far from the car now already. That's kind of a bummer. It could have been like twice as long. Come on. So yeah, I've just been spending a lot more time doing that and engaging with that community. And I don't know if that community would be interested in like checking out my content as it's blended into this channel, like mixed in with these vlogs and like talking about diamond painting and stuff. Like that's gonna definitely be more, like less just this, like keeping each other company and just gabbing. And that's gonna be like, all right, today we're headed to Dorney Park. Dorney Park opened in blah, 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 blah. They currently have X amount of roller coasters operating. Let's go ahead and you know, take a quick walk around of the park, see which ones we can get on today. And then as I get to each one, be like, all right, this is their most recent roller coaster. It's a dive coaster and it's by, you know, B&M, opened in this year, this height, this speed, this many inversions, blah, 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 blah. Here's my initial impressions on the look and feel of it in the park, and then getting off the ride. Let's talk a little bit about how that, you know, like it's gonna be very much just like, not that regimented, but you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna put structure to it and have like the topics that I like to cover, and then maybe a little vlog before and like vlogging before and after the park, talking about, you know, the intro to the park and then my overall impressions of the park as I'm leaving, that type of thing. So it's going to be very all theme park, you know, all theme park and coaster motivated. So that's, I feel like that will appeal. I think you guys might like it too, because it's going to have some life stuff and vlog stuff, but I don't think the coaster folks are going to want to be interested in sifting through this content to find those. You know what I mean? So I'm toying with the idea of starting a new channel that's focused on that, and then still posting those videos here, but just let you guys know up front, like, hey, everyone, just a heads up that, you know, the next clip is going to be a vlog that I did for the other channel, but I wanted to share it here. But of course, I'd encourage you to, if I do start a new channel, to go subscribe to that one too and show some support there. But no pressure, you know, you'll still see it here. At least that's the plan now. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I was also thinking of making those vlogs a membership on this channel, but I don't think so. It's still early days. I'm gonna give myself another couple weeks to decide, because if I do want to do it, I want to figure out the name, get all the graphics for it together, and get it up and running by the time I leave for Pennsylvania. And maybe do like a welcome to the channel type thing. So yeah, but I thought that'd be really cool. I was even thinking of emailing the parks that I'm gonna be going to in Pennsylvania to see if there's any opportunity for me to do any sort of drone footage or the rides running or cycling before the park opens. Usually that's reserved for like bigger media and like bigger YouTube channels, but it doesn't hurt to ask. Like, hey, can I get into the parking lot or like film the property a couple hours before open or something like that, just to get some cool drone shots, because they absolutely will not allow you to fly drones on property during business hours. And then like on ride footage, usually with that you have to have clearance, you know, to set up cameras, and they'll have specific and special mountings for cameras on like media days. Hi. Hi. Say hi. Look at your puppy. He's cute, huh? He's a cutie. He's a cutie. Okay, come on. Let's go. Let's go. So yeah, they'll have like special media days where it's invite only, so you can go do all that stuff, and they'll have special camera mounts on the two of the cars, the roller coaster seats, so you can get your POVs and stuff. So I think it doesn't hurt to ask. But I have a pretty good feeling that's going to be a no-go, but it doesn't hurt to ask. So yeah, let me know what you think. Would you be interested in seeing that content on a separate channel to support? Would you want to see it blend, in with this channel like Cedar Point was? But of course I would do it a lot more professionally and formally with like the clips and the layouts and stuff. Given my current setup, because I do have a nice Sony camera, but I don't have like big like DSLRs or whatever, like big expensive cameras. But I have this, we'll just call it a GoPro, but it's a DJI. I've got 2 of them, so I could technically have 2 cameras going. I've got my microphone setups, obviously my phone, my Sony vlog cam, my little baby drone. So I've got like a good starter pack to start doing some more stuff in that realm. But they're just much bigger investments in time in terms of like the editing of those. But I think it would be really cool. And I'm not the type of person that can just go to theme parks every weekend or even every month. So I'd probably end up doing like 2 or 3 series a year. So the channel wouldn't be like a super active, at least at this point, channel. It would be more just like, all right, here's our summer trip to these few parks. Here's a couple in between, and then here's our fall trip or a winter trip, or I don't know, who knows? Like, for instance, I'm doing Hershey Park, Great Adventure, Dorney, Knoebels in May. Then in June, my plan is to do Glenwood Caverns and maybe go back to Elitch Gardens just to see if anything's better there than it was last year, but do an actual more professional vlog there at Elitch Gardens. And then my next planned trip isn't until October, tied into my work conference. That's going to be Dollywood, but I'm also going to incorporate Six Flags Over Georgia. There's one park near Atlanta. I forget the name of it, but it has a roller coaster called Air Force One that I really want to go on. And then there's one more on the way from, if I take kind of a long way to go from Atlanta back to Nashville, there's another park that has, I think, 1 or 2 roller coasters that's kind of on the Tennessee-Georgia border, I think. So I'm going to turn that trip into I believe, a full week long, maybe even a week and a couple days road trip, looping, going from Nashville to Pigeon Forge, down to Atlanta, and then back, or the reverse. So that's going to be another trip in October. So, I mean, hopefully I'll get to hit maybe 10 to 12 different parks this season. And then most likely Waterworld will happen. So I'll probably do another vlog of that and try to tidy that up a little bit more. And then if I can get to Lakeside Amusement Park, which is here in Denver, which is also kind of a crapshoot, but could at least check it off the list. So there's a lot to do. The other thing that counts as roller coasters, and I've never done one before because they look terrifying, but I'm going to try one for the first time this year to see if it's something I'm into, is alpine coasters. So those are those coasters that they put on the side of the mountain that's totally gravity fed. You basically go from the top to the bottom. And you're just in like a little cart. and they just push you down the mountain. And it's very small. It's not like a traditional roller coaster. But they count as roller coasters because it's a gravity-fed ride with rails and stuff. They count. So a lot of coaster enthusiasts count those as credits. We have a bunch of alpine coasters here in Colorado. I mean, we're up here in the mountains, so I want to start checking those off this summer too and get all of those out of the way. So I think there's going to be a lot of content that I could do with little day trips and stuff, but maybe bigger trips will be really spread out. You know, I'm not in the financial position or work position to be like, all right, I'm taking a month off and I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Europe, all, you know, boom, boom, boom. Those would each have to be like one big trip a year. So 2026, that's the plan, is I'm going to the European diamond painting retreat that Mia is kind of putting together and leading up the charge on. That's next September. So next September, I'll be doing that, but I will absolutely, that'll be a big trip for me. I'm going to save up my vacation time pretty much all through September to do that if I need to, because I really want to turn that into like a 3-week situation. 2 or 3 week situation where I hit up as many European parks as I can. Pretty much everything that I want to or can do aside from France, the UK, Spain, those I'd probably leave out because there's some massive parks there. There's massive parks in Europe in general. But those have some big ones in quite a few in each country, like including Disney, Paris. So I think that would have to be its own European UK trip, would just be those. And that alone would probably have to be its own 3-week trip. But I want to do Poland, Germany, Sweden, Denmark, Netherlands. I think those would be it, because there's a lot in that. That's easily 2 weeks worth, if not more, worth of different parks to go to. And I want to do normal touristy sightseeing culture stuff too. So next 2026 is going, that's like where my investment in vacation is probably going to go. And then maybe get to do Cedar Point next year. We'll see. So my mindset right now is like, I want to save, continue to save and be good about that, which things are getting better. You know, get a house eventually. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to like traveling to do this theme park stuff. Like, I feel like I really missed the boat when I was younger on doing this kind of stuff before my body wasn't able to go as hard. So I kind of feel like I want to get some of these major trips out of the way before I get too old, or some of the rides that I've wanted to go on as a kid have just aged out. You know, some of the rides that I've been wanting to go on have started to close. So, you know, 25, 30-year-old roller coaster, sometimes it's done. So yeah, traveling more. Really, I want to do 2 Europe trips eventually. I want to do a Japan / South Korea trip to knock those out. And then I want to do a UAE trip and get to go once to Dubai and once to Qiddiya, Saudi Arabia. Someday. So we'll see. It's okay. It's okay. Say hi. Say hi. Let's go. And then everything else I want to do is pretty much in North America. Canada trip or trips. Mexico City, I'd like to do. I almost thought about changing my travel plans to Cancun to add us to fly into Mexico City for a night or two and then fly to Cancun, but I decided to leave it. And US, there's so many parks in the US that I'd like to go to. So just trying to like make up for lost time in terms of like I didn't do this when I was in my 20s and now I'm like almost in my 40s and I'm just now getting around to like being able to go to these places and I'm like I want to get it done. So anyway, that's it. We're back to the car. So yeah, let me know, what do you think? Should it be its own? It's going to be its own separate channel, but would you be fine subbing to a separate channel from me, or would you rather see it blended in to this channel too so you don't have to go anywhere else? Let me know. But yeah, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. Happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.